Welcome to the Stoic Golden Tribe, where wisdom is sharpened, where men rise again, and where age becomes your advantage, not your obstacle. Today's message is for every man over 60 who feels forgotten, overlooked, or underestimated. Because what you carry inside you is something no young man can compete with, a hidden advantage that only life, pain, discipline, and time can create. But most men never learn how to use it, and that is why they suffer. They feel invisible, when in reality, they are holding the strongest cards on the table. Before we begin, make sure you subscribe, like this video, and join my membership if you want deeper, exclusive teachings created only for men who are ready to become unstoppable, mentally, spiritually, and emotionally. Now, let's begin. Chapter 1. The quiet power most men over 60 never recognize. By the time a man reaches 60, he carries something that no young man on this earth can fake: the weight of lived truth. Not theories, not fantasies, not empty confidence, but wisdom carved into his soul through years of trials, loss, sacrifice, and rebuilding himself from the ground up. This is the hidden advantage most older men never acknowledge. Women can feel a man who has lived. They feel it in the calm way he sits, in the steady tone of his voice, in the way he doesn't react to nonsense, in the way he refuses to argue over things that don't matter, in the way he looks at life, not with fear, but with acceptance and understanding. A man over 60 carries a gravity that younger men simply do not possess. But here's the tragedy. Most older men spend their time trying to erase their age. They try to compete with younger men, not understanding that youth is their battlefield, wisdom is yours. When an older man tries too hard to stay young, he unknowingly gives up his advantage. He becomes a copy of boys he should be leading, teaching, or inspiring. He forgets that age is not a weakness. Age is a form of power that only a few men ever learn how to use. Because think about it. You've walked through storms younger men have never even seen. You've loved, you've lost, you've been broken, you've risen, you've worked, you've provided, you've survived. You've watched people come and go. You've learned patience, timing, and discipline. You've seen patterns in human behavior that a 25-year-old cannot even interpret. This is why your presence is so different. A woman feels it instantly: the emotional safety, the calm dominance, the grounded energy. Not dominance through shouting, but dominance through stillness. Not confidence through bragging, but confidence through certainty. And deep down, every woman craves this: a man who is not desperate, a man who is not easily moved, a man who is not begging for love, but choosing it. Because after 60, your heart becomes more selective. You don't need a woman to validate you. You want peace, respect, alignment, and soul-level connection. And that alone makes you stand out. Here is the truth. When you stop trying to be young and start embracing the strength that only age can give, you become a rare man, the kind of man women quietly admire. Your wisdom becomes attractive. Your calm becomes magnetic. Your presence becomes unforgettable. You are not past your prime. You are entering the prime that only wise men ever reach, the prime of power, clarity, and emotional mastery. And when you learn how to use that advantage wisely, your relationships, your confidence, and your peace all transform. Drop a comment below. What life lesson did you learn after 60 that completely changed the way you see relationships? Chapter 2. Why your presence becomes more powerful. After 60, as a man crosses 60, something begins to shift inside him, quietly, slowly, but undeniably. It's not just age, it's not decline, it's not weakness, it's evolution. because for the first time in your life, you are no longer driven by the noise of the world. You're driven by something far stronger. Clarity. Clarity about who you are. Clarity about what matters. Clarity about what you refuse to tolerate. Clarity about the type of peace you deserve. And this clarity is the second hidden advantage men over 60 possess, but rarely use. Let me tell you something powerful. When a man becomes clear, he becomes dangerous. Not dangerous in a violent sense, dangerous in the sense that he cannot be controlled, manipulated, rushed, or deceived. A younger man wants attention. A man over 60 wants truth. A younger man wants to impress everyone. A man over 60 wants to live in alignment. A younger man wants validation. A man over 60 wants peace. And women feel this difference instantly. They can sense a man who has outgrown desperation, outgrown showing off, outgrown begging to be chosen. A man like you no longer fears being alone. You've been through enough to understand that loneliness is not the enemy, chaotic company is. This is why women are drawn to men over 60 in ways most men never realize. 1. Your silence speaks louder than words. When a man has lived long enough, he doesn't exaggerate. He doesn't argue for hours. He doesn't raise his voice to prove a point. He responds with silence, not out of weakness, but out of power. A woman sees that silence and feels, this man knows who he is. Silence is confidence. Silence is emotional maturity. Silence is strength in its purest form. 2. Your patience makes you unpredictable. You don't rush women, you don't chase when she pulls away, you don't get excited when she comes close, you simply observe. You've lived long enough to know that the right people stay and the wrong people expose themselves. Women find this deeply attractive because it removes pressure and introduces mystery. And mystery is something younger men easily lose. 3. Your standards become higher and she feels it. When you were young, you tolerated too much. You accepted disrespect, chaos, immaturity, emotional games, and manipulation, but now you choose differently. You value your peace more than someone's beauty. You value consistency more than excuses. You value loyalty more than sweet words. This makes a woman step up around you because she realizes she can't play with you. 4. You don't fall for illusions anymore. By 60, you've seen every type of woman, the kind-hearted, the selfish, the respectful, the chaotic, the loyal, the manipulative. You can read energy faster than a young man reads text messages. You know when a woman's interest is genuine and when it's opportunistic. This prevents you from falling into traps that younger men fall into every day. 5. You move like a man who has nothing to prove. And this is the most magnetic quality of all. You don't chase validation. You don't chase people. You don't chase excitement. And because you don't chase, you attract. Your life experience has built a form of masculine energy that is calm, controlled, intentional, and deeply grounded. This is the energy that makes women take you seriously. This is the energy that makes them open up. This is the energy that makes them respect you without you saying a word. Because a man over 60 who knows himself walks into a room differently, he sits differently, he listens differently, he carries himself with a quiet authority that doesn't need to be announced. You are not trying to compete with young men. You are living in a world they will spend decades trying to understand. And when a woman feels that, you become unforgettable. Drop a comment below. What is one thing you no longer tolerate after turning 60? Chapter 3. How to use your hidden advantage wisely. You've earned your experience. You've survived storms. You've carried responsibilities that would break many men today. But here's the truth. Most older men never hear. Your age alone is not the advantage. How you use it is. A man over 60 who understands his strengths becomes unstoppable. A man over 60 who ignores them becomes invisible. In this chapter, we go deeper into how to use your hidden advantage with precision, wisdom, and power. 1. First, Stop explaining yourself. Let your actions speak. At this stage of your life, you don't owe anyone long explanations. Women respect a man who moves with conviction, not a man who tries to justify every move. If you say no, mean it. If you set a boundary, uphold it. If you make a decision, stand on it. You've lived enough life to trust your own judgment. Women admire this more than you know. A man who is decisive is a man who is respected. 2. Don't argue. You've reached the age of clarity. Arguments drain energy. Disagreements are inevitable, but chaos is optional. When a woman tries to pull you into emotional confusion, you don't shout, you don't react, you don't try to win. You simply step back, because by now you understand, the man who controls himself controls the direction of the relationship. This calm clarity is one of the most attractive traits a man over 60 can display. You become a mirror she cannot manipulate. 3. Protect your peace, like it's your last currency. At 60 plus, your peace becomes your throne. Protect it more than your money, more than your image, more than your ego. If someone threatens your peace, you walk away quietly. If someone disrespects you, you distance yourself. If someone tries to drain you, you close the door. A man who protects his peace is rare. A man who protects his peace is respected. A man who protects his peace becomes magnetic. Women admire men who know what they will and will not tolerate. 4. Use your experience to see beyond beauty. You've lived long enough to understand that beauty can distract, confuse, or mislead. Your advantage is simple. You see things younger men cannot see. Patterns, behavior, intentions, consistency, character. A beautiful face can deceive a young man. It cannot deceive an experienced man. Women respect you because your attraction is based on depth, not desperation. You choose a woman for her peace, not just her appearance. 5. Learn to listen without being led. This is one of your strongest tools. When a woman speaks, don't rush to fix everything. Don't try to solve every problem. Don't try to impress. Simply listen, because your listening comes from a place of wisdom, not weakness. You're not listening to gain advantage. You're listening to understand her intentions, her heart, her values. Women open up to men who listen with presence, but they follow men who listen with strength. 6. Show your standards. Without apology, many older men are afraid of losing women, so they lower their standards, but a wise man raises them. If you expect loyalty, say it. If you want peace, express it. If you need space, take it. If you refuse drama, state it clearly. Women feel more secure around a man with strong standards than a man with none. Your standards are not demands, they are invitations. She will rise to meet them or fall away. Either outcome is a victory for you. 7. Move slowly, it creates gravity. The pace of younger men is fast, reckless, impatient. Your pace is deliberate. When you speak slowly, walk slowly, make decisions slowly. You create gravity around you. Women lean in. They wonder what you're thinking. They sense your control, your discipline, your emotional stability. You become the opposite of chaotic energy. This makes you unforgettable, because everything grounded becomes attractive. 8. Use your age to lead, not to chase. You are at a stage where chasing is beneath you. Your role is not to pursue every woman. Your role is to lead your life with purpose. When a woman sees a man who isn't desperate for attention, affection, or validation, she becomes curious. Why is this man so calm? Why is he so centered? Why doesn't he need me the way others do? Curiosity turns into attraction. Attraction turns into respect. Respect turns into emotional connection. 9. Show emotional control. This separates you from 95% of men. Your advantage is not your muscles, not your clothing, not your money. It is your emotional mastery. You've seen enough life to remain steady when others panic. You don't insult, you don't overreact, you don't explode. You hold your emotions like a disciplined warrior. A man who controls his emotions controls the entire experience. Women feel safe around this energy. safe to express, safe to trust, safe to be feminine. 10. Focus on purpose over romance. At 60 plus, your purpose must come first. When a man focuses on his mission, everything else falls into place. When you build, when you grow, when you improve your life, when you live with intention, women naturally gravitate toward you, because purpose is the masculine core. Purpose is the foundation of your identity. Purpose is the source of your confidence. Your hidden advantage becomes unstoppable when it aligns with purpose. 11. Honor your boundaries without fear of losing anyone. The men who lose the most after 60 are the men who fear losing people. You must be the opposite. If someone crosses your boundaries, you let them go. If someone disrespects you, you walk away. If someone takes you for granted, you distance yourself. This is not coldness. This is self-respect. Your boundaries are not walls. They are filters. They let the right people in and keep the wrong ones out. 12. Understand that your value has shifted. In your youth, your value was potential. Today, your value is certainty. Women are drawn to men who know who they are and what they want. Men who no longer wobble. Men who no longer seek permission. Men who no longer need validation. When you embrace this fully, you stop competing. You start leading. And that is the ultimate advantage. Drop a comment below. What strength have you gained after 60 that you wish you had in your younger years? Chapter 4. The Final Transformation. Becoming the man you were always meant to be. By the time a man reaches 60, life has already revealed its truths. Who loved you, who betrayed you, what mattered, and what never truly did. But there is one truth most men discover too late. Your final and most powerful transformation happens after 60, not before. Not during your youth, not when you were trying to prove yourself. It happens now, when the noise fades and your soul finally becomes louder than the world. This chapter is where everything comes together. This is where your hidden advantage becomes your identity. This is where you step into the man life was preparing you to become. Let's go deeper. 1. You become immune to manipulation. When you were younger, emotions controlled you. Love, lust, fear of being alone, the desire to please others, but at 60 plus, you are wider awake than you've ever been. You see every trick, you recognize every pattern, you can feel a lie before it is spoken. You can sense ingenuine energy from a mile away. Women can no longer manipulate you emotionally. People can no longer guilt trip you. Society can no longer pressure you, because your heart is no longer naive. It is trained, and that makes you powerful. 2. You're masculine. Calm becomes your aura. You've lived enough life to understand this simple truth. Every reaction is a choice. So you choose calm, you choose silence, you choose control, you choose discipline. This calmness is not weakness. It is masculine energy at its highest form. Your calmness draws people toward you. Your calmness disarms loud people. Your calmness heals the right kind of woman. Your calmness commands respect without demanding it. This aura comes only after years of life experience. You cannot fake it, and people feel it instantly. 3. You become a mirror that exposes others. When you reach this stage of life, your presence reflects people back to themselves. A disrespectful woman sees her disrespect clearly. A manipulative woman sees her games failing. A loyal woman sees her loyalty appreciated. A peaceful woman sees her peace valued. Your energy filters people without effort, because you don't chase, you don't beg, you don't compromise your standards. People reveal their true nature around you. This is your hidden advantage working on its own. 4. You no longer fear walking away. A younger man stays in the wrong relationships because he fears the unknown. But you've lived through enough endings to understand that. Walking away is not loss. Walking away is self-respect. You don't fear losing a woman, you fear losing your peace. You fear losing your focus. You fear losing your dignity. When you walk away, you do it quietly, confidently, and fully. And the moment you walk away from disrespect, you rise into a new level of strength. This level of detachment is deeply attractive and deeply rare. 5. You become a leader by presence, not position. At 60 plus, your leadership comes from your life, not your titles. You lead by how you treat people. You lead by how you stay calm under pressure. You lead by how you control your emotions. You lead by how you hold your standards. You lead by how you carry yourself in silence. You no longer push for dominance. Your presence is dominance. This is the level where women admire you, men respect you, and life becomes simpler. 6. You attract without chasing. One of the greatest advantages older men have is this: you don't chase, you don't perform, you don't beg, you don't try to impress. Your energy says, I want peace, connection, respect, and authenticity. If you bring anything else, I walk. And that is why you attract women who value maturity. Women who are tired of games, women who want a man who knows who he is. A man over 60 who embraces his wisdom becomes magnetic without effort. And 7. You finally choose yourself. You spent decades choosing responsibility, duty, work, family, expectations, sacrifices, but now, this chapter of life belongs to you. You choose your peace, you choose your standards, you choose your lifestyle, you choose your boundaries, you choose your joy, you choose your next chapter. And when a man finally chooses himself, his entire life transforms because you stop living for approval and start living in truth. This is the transformation that most men never reach. But you are here now. 8. You become feared and respected for the same reason. People fear losing access to you. People respect your self-control. People fear your silence. People respect your boundaries. People fear your independence. People respect your wisdom. And the most profound part, you don't try to create this effect. It happens naturally. A man who has mastered himself becomes someone others cannot manipulate, distract, or break. This is your true advantage. And once you embrace it, you become unstoppable. 9. You no longer need to be liked, only honored. By 60, you've realized that being liked is cheap. It requires no backbone, no standards, no boundaries. Being honored, however, that requires strength. You speak less. You observe more. You choose differently. You invest your energy wisely. You give your time only to the worthy. This level of emotional discipline makes you stand out in any room. You do not blend in. You stand tall, quietly, effortlessly. 10. You step into the most confident version of yourself. Confidence at 25 is loud. Confidence at 40 is visible. Confidence at 60 plus is silent. And silent confidence is the strongest of them all. Your confidence does not come from your looks, not from your money, not from women, not from fame, not from validation. It comes from survival, from experience, from wisdom, from knowing who you are and what you bring. This is the confidence younger men cannot touch. This is the confidence women cannot resist. This is the confidence you've earned. You become the man life was shaping you to be all along. By 11, your life gains meaning. Again, purpose returns, strength returns, clarity returns, self-respect returns, masculinity returns. This is not the end of your life. This is your second beginning, the beginning where you live on your terms, where you love with wisdom, where you choose with clarity, where you stand with power, where you move with intention. This is where your hidden advantage becomes your destiny. You are not fading, you are awakening, and the world will feel it. Drop a comment below. What is the greatest transformation you've experienced after turning 60?